While virtual learning may not necessarily be a thing anymore, many teachers may still find some utility in facilitating certain elements of in-person learning in a virtual environment for a variety of factors. Being good for flipped learning and allowing for collaboration and less restricted access to materials are among some of those factors. And there are certainly different components of the Danielson and other similar teacher evaluation tools that can be better met through use of technology and housing resources on a learning management system. I would contend that having a plethora of resources contained on a single Google Doc for easy reference for students could contribute to components of Domain 2 being met, which have to do with classroom environment, which typically cause teachers to focus on having an ornamentally decorated room filled with colorful posters and such. But what many miss is that the decorations on the wall should act as reference material. That way, students who may need to be reminded of a particular term or concept can reference the decorations on the wall for an answer to any question they might have before swarming your desk like a bunch of cranium-craving zombies, thus constituting an adjustment to the physical environment if they, say, turn their desks to get a better view of that resource. I would contend, though some may not agree, disclaimer, that having students pick up a laptop to reference something in a virtual space to answer questions would fulfill the same purpose. And with that notwithstanding, one cannot deny that using tech in such a way would constitute an extensive and imaginative use of tech, especially as all students will have an easy way to access all resource that may have been provided to them. For instance, any assignment or unit I do with students will invariably consist of several different sub-assignments, all of which require scaffolding, resources, graphic organizers, and I house all of that on one single Google Doc with a table of contents page that makes it easy to navigate. In this unit, where I had students doing a research project, for instance, students would have needed to access what different types of research they could do and have access to an exemplar, and these things were all housed in this one doc. And if students wanted to reference a particular thing, they would just go to the table of contents page, find the resource they sought, click, and it takes them right there. And such a doc is very easy to make, as I'll demonstrate on the blank Google Doc right here. Since this first page is where your table of contents page will be, the first resource you post, you'll want to put on this second page right here. So, say I want to have a graphic organizer that students can collectively contribute to. I'll just type the name of that resource here, labeling it as a graphic organizer for the research project. And let's make the graphic organizer. And this is what students will type in to share their ideas or document what we discuss when I'm modeling the skills for the larger assignment. And we'll want this to appear in the table of contents page so that students can easily reference it if they want to revisit some of our ideations or if they were absent for class that day. And in order to do so, we'll go over to the Styles section here and select Header 1. And sometimes when you apply a heading, the font and font size will change, so you just adjust it back and go back to Heading 1 under the Styles section and select Update Heading 1 to match. And every subsequent Heading 1 you'll apply will have the same font. And now that we have a Heading 1 applied, let's go to the first page, go to the Insert tab, and go to Insert Table of Contents, selecting the option that has the corresponding page numbers, and you'll see that the heading for the graphic organizer appears here, along with the page number on which this resource can be found. And you would repeat this process for every single resource you add, so students have a living document that can be used to easily reference any resources for successful execution of a given task. A very practical and purposeful use of technology indeed. For more ideas on how to use tech in pedagogy in a meaningful way, check out some other videos from my Distance Learning in Danielson playlist, or my Project-Based Learning playlist. And as always, if you find these ideas useful, please like, comment, and should you feel so inclined, do subscribe.